Welcome to the Urantia Book read-through. If you are here, you have found the most important words that can ever be put into the English language. These are not the words of a human being, and don't take my word for it. Read them yourself, and you will see the advancement of the wisdom coming through. These words work like a key to help unlock your spiritual consciousness. Now, it has to be of your willing participation, and you also have to enact these lessons in every single one of life's decisions, down from the very small to the very large, of choosing your higher self. Now, having said that, even though the Urantia book is just a means to an end, it is the most important means on the planet. And we will see as we continue on with this book that it not only has these descriptions, as we're doing right here in the foreword, about things about God and what the nature of God is, and these very heady topics, as they call them, but then later on it also has things that are very close to home, describing our situation here and how to have the strength to make those better decisions. So let's continue on with our read-through of the Urantia book. We are on page 4, and we are learning about the terms and how they are applied. Because, as they said earlier, there's very much confusion about terms like God. I know in my life, when I mention the word God to people, they say, oh, they're kind of turned off by it, because religions have taken it and they've added so much human input into it. This does not have human input. It's not going to be changed or anything like that. It's in print, and you can go to it and read back from it. We're doing well with the channel, much better than I thought we would be doing at this point, but I guess I should expect greatness when dealing with topics like this. So make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll keep the ball rolling. Here we go. Part 4. The term God, or page 4, I should say. The term God, as we make use of it, may be understood by designation as God the Father, by context as when used in the discussion of some one deity level or association. When in doubt as to the exact interpretation of the word God, it would be advisable to refer to it as the person of the universal Father. The term God always denotes personality. Deity may or may not refer to divinity personalities. The word God is used in these papers with the following meanings. 1. God the Father, creator, controller, upholder, the universal Father, the first person of deity. 2. God the Son, coordinate creator, spirit controller, and spiritual administrator, the eternal Son, the second person of deity. 3. God the Spirit, conjoint actor, universal integrator, and mind bestower, the infinite Spirit, the third person of deity. 4. God the Supreme, the actualizing or evolving God of time and space, personal deity associatively realizing the time-space experiential achievement of creature-creator identity. The Supreme Being is personally experiencing the achievement of deity unity as the evolving and experiential God of the evolutionary creatures of time and space. 5. God the Sevenfold, deity personality anywhere actually functioning in time and space. The personal paradise deities and their creative associates functioning in and beyond the borders of the central universe, and power personalizing as the supreme being on the first creature level of unifying deity revelation in time and space. This level, the grand universe, is the sphere of the time-space dissension of paradise personalities in reciprocal association with the time-space ascension of evolutionary creatures. 6. God the Ultimate, the eventuating God of supertime and transcended space, the second experiential level of unifying deity manifestations. God the Ultimate implies the attained realization of the synthesized absonite superpersonal time-space transcended and eventuated experiential values, coordinated on final creativity levels of deity reality. 7. God the Absolute. The experientializing God of transcended superpersonal values and divinity meanings, now existential as the deity absolute. This creative level, deity experiences exhaustion of personalizable potential, encounters completion of divinity, and undergoes depletion of capacity for self-revelation to successive and progressive levels of other personalization. Deity now encounters, impinges upon, and experiences identity with the unqualified absolute. The first source and center. Total infinite reality is existential in 7 phases and as 7 coordinate absolutes. Okay, we'll get into that tomorrow. But let's summarize this. There's a lot to kind of take in on this. I mean, this is really heady out there stuff. Okay? But it goes from this simple aspect, and this is what's, I think, important to take away from this. God the Father, it's so easy to understand this parent-child relationship because we have all had that. But now in this place is the perfect parent, an infinite source of love and wisdom that has existed before time. Okay? And now they're touching on the Trinity here. They'll go on to explain that that's an inevitable aspect of God because God wanted to bestow himself of everything that was bestowable. So rather than existing in just this mirror, staring at himself because nothing else really, everything was God, he divested himself of personality. And so the Trinity is inevitable. If you think of God as wanting to allow others to share in the experience and to have relationships to love, then there would have to be a Trinity. And not just 2. 3 creates the community. And then it extends on from there. So the Supreme, that's the evolving God of time and space. So that when people say, oh, we're God experiencing this level of reality, well, you're correct in a way. That's a New Age concept because of this aspect of God the Supreme. That's where that is touching on. Now, God the Sevenfold is more like the associates functioning beyond the borders. So this is the first creature level of unifying deity revelation in time and space. This is kind of like our path, the sevenfold path to deity. This is how we're basically our ladder, okay? It's for us being on this lowest rung of the ladder to then reach up and continue on in the universe and attain some of these more unbelievable, well, I mean, I should say non-graspable levels right now, like God the ultimate, the eventuating God of supertime and transcended space. So you have to transcend time and space, which is really, a spiritual act, which it takes practice. It takes a lot, and it might not even happen in this life or the next life or the next life or the next life. I mean, we're talking about eternity events here. But each one is a step of joy and willing participation on your part. So the next, God the Absolute. Now this is we're touching into unqualified absolute. This is where I believe when some of those very deep monks that meditate for 7 years in Buddhism and Hinduism and stuff, and they come out and they say there is no separation, there's no personality, and they deny the God the Father in their religions. Because what I think they've done is kind of skipped over that, and they've gone right to the unqualified absolute. It deplete capacity for self-revelation. I mean, you're getting into just really, really out there stuff. So just let the words sink in. I wouldn't necessarily even try to understand. I mean, you could pull your hair out trying to understand, but a lot of it needs to be experienced. And when reading this book, I just read that and just say, okay, I mean, that's in there. And it's nice to know that there's these really deep concepts of God out there. But then I get to the points where it's more synthesized for me, and I have these aha moments, and I say, oh, okay, that's where it all comes together. And we'll have them as we continue on. But right now we're just dealing with some of that. It's just really, really, you can see the clarity coming through here, and firming up our concept of what God is and bringing it back to something that's relevant and untainted. Okay, make sure you like and subscribe, and thanks for listening.